when we saw you at the Critics' Choice Awards, I saw you walking down the carpet with an award, and I said, Marcus, Sarah Paulson has a Critics' Choice Award. And he's like, what? And then he bolted over to you. You didn't get to give your speech, and we wanted to see you give your speech. So
I know, but the truth is, giving speeches are really scary, so it was probably for the best. But it was only sad mostly because there's one person in particular I wanted to thank, which was this woman named Ashley, whose responsibility was to help me get dressed. Because when I would wear the animatronic, I couldn't bend down to put my shoes on. I couldn't tie my shoe. I couldn't put my sock on. She would be the person who would remind me that I had my head cocked to the side, and we were way past that, and we were onto Dot's coverage, so I could readjust my head, and I would just forget. I just have my head hanging over there as bed for hours on end, and she'd sort of remind me. She just took incredibly good care of me and was very kind, and it was just from a technical standpoint a lot to juggle, and she really kept me. So she was the person I wanted to thank in a public way, and I didn't get to do that. So.
Well, speaking of technically hard, on the interview that you gave with us recently, you said how difficult this character was. Was this probably the most difficult role you've ever had, or the most challenging?
It was the most challenging, just because it was too many things at once to try to hold. It was like trying to run down the street with an entire dinner service in your hand and not try to drop anything. It was just too much to be thinking about at one time while playing the scene, and to be emotionally invested and have two different characters with two different wants and needs, and who were often arguing with each other or at odds. It's difficult to be playing both those things at the same time, and it was just, it wasn't hard in the sense that I didn't want to be doing it. It was hard in the good way, but it was very challenging to not have anybody to play a scene with, nor to know what was going to come at me. When we would rehearse, I would be just sort of going back and forth and not able to play the scene full out and know what was going to happen until I was doing it, which added an element, I hope, of a certain kind of aliveness, at least in the playing of it, but it was hard to do.
Did they at least, at the end, in the rap and everything, did they at least give you a lifetime massage gift card for the neck cramps?
In the beginning there was conversation about the massages, and then very quickly, I think, as happens sometimes with your body, I just got used to hanging my head over there, and it didn't hurt me anymore.
Well, we're huge fans of you at Gold Derby, and we are pulling for you at the Emmys big time this year,
I really
so really deserve it. Thanks so much.